So whoever doesn't know, Jake Paul got accused of sexual assault. And while most people claim that the story of the accuser, Justine Paradise, sounds like bullshit, to me it sounded pretty realistic. However, in this video I don't want to talk about who's telling the truth. I want to focus on a completely different aspect of the whole thing, and that's how absolutely tragic the mix of pop culture with sexual assault is. Now, for the sake of this video, let's assume the story is real and Justine got sexually assaulted. Put yourself in her shoes and try to figure out what went through her head as she chose to take the following steps. On her TikTok, she released the following video.
$19 Fortnite card. Who wants it?
No more Fortnite?
As I said, watch the video with the assumption that the assault was indeed real, and the way you decided to bring it up is with a sound effect, a practice little motion on TikTok, and use it as a teaser for your YouTube video. And that's very alienating to me. Not only that, but tragic as well. Watching the whole thing, it doesn't feel like Justine is emotionally aware of what happened to her. And that's what I mean by tragic. It feels like a lot of people are not concerned about how they will get by as a human being, they're concerned with how they will get by online. To me, it seems like that sexual assault is nowadays treated as something you have to share publicly. If something bad happened to you in the past, it's not enough to make it part of your story or to educate the world with your story. No, you need to share it publicly, to be a public figure that has survived sexual abuse. And from then on, you're not being treated as a person first anymore, but as someone that has survived sexual abuse. And to be honest, I don't think that Justine did this consciously. I don't think she sat down and thought, oh, I can't get clout off of this. But I think the mindset goes more into the direction of, that's just what you do nowadays.
A lot of people were calling cap on that video and hating on me even though I barely gave any information yet. And I did make a full YouTube video explaining everything. But I'm talking to a reporter now instead that contacted me, because if everyone's gonna hate on me for something that happened to me, might as well say it louder for the people in the back. And maybe this will encourage some other people to come forward about stuff that happened to them. Because if I don't stand up for myself, no one's gonna stand up for me. But I cannot put up my video until the reporter does their report. And since I did sign an NDA with the YouTuber prior to all of this happening, the reporter has lawyers with their company and they're just gonna look into whatever for me so I don't get in trouble or whatever. So yeah, I can't share the story yet, but it's coming soon.
Something bad happens to you, put it into a presentable shape and put it on social media. Because with the way she presented it, it doesn't feel like she believes in spreading awareness or sharing knowledge or warning people. It simply felt like content for social media. And don't get me wrong, I do not condemn people sharing their stories publicly. I think sharing those stories and bringing people to actual justice makes people more aware and creates a better social climate for both speaking up and also preventing future cases from happening. Especially when you have internet celebrities that are using their fame to create real-life situations, calling them out in their online world is sometimes necessary. I do, however, feel like the way it's being done nowadays doesn't teach people to speak up. It teaches people that the thing to do is to write a tweet longer, make a TikTok video or whatever and put it on social media, answer all the messages you get and make it your new identity. And in my opinion, that's very dangerous. And I'm not speaking about dangerous for the accused, I'm speaking about dangerous for the victim. We don't seem to care what's best for the well-being of a person. We care about what pop culture status you can achieve by taking certain steps, regardless of if it helps your trauma or your well-being. And you can see that in all sorts of areas outside of sexual abuse too, from Black Lives Matter, to feminism, to the LGBT movement, to inequality, etc. We don't care about the progress or the lives of people in these movements as we participate in those movements. We care about the social credit we get by displaying being part of those movements. So if something terrible has happened to you, please make sure that the steps you're taking are directed at your own well-being first. Do what's good for you, not what's good for your career or for your clicks or for social attention or anything. Do what gets you back to health. After this, you can still decide to address it online or give the story to an online reporter anonymously, but don't make this the aim. Anyways, as always, I'm just sharing my opinion. And another opinion that I can definitely share is that Jake Paul is a disgusting human being. If you want to know about why I think that, there's an interesting video in the description that shows a few facts that make Logan and Jake Paul anything but trustworthy. So yeah, cheers.